today I have a tutorial for you. I just did a tutorial of this makeup look. It's just a really natural, affordable, everyday, neutral look for work, for school, for whatever you need to do. And yeah, so this was actually requested by a viewer, and I'll leave her name right here because off the top of my head I don't want to pronounce it wrong and sound silly. So yeah. So if you want to learn how to get this kind of neutral look, I have like a tiny little flick of my eyeliner that I explain how I do it, but I'm not a professional makeup artist at all, so this is just how I do it. I'm always open for suggestions, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the tutorial. Okay, so now I'm going to get into the tutorial part. So the first thing I'm going to do is do something with my eyebrows a little bit. I have pretty decent eyebrows, so I don't need to do a lot, but I'm just going to take this e.l.f. eyebrow. It has a gel and a powder, and I'm just going to take the powder, just touch them up a little bit. Then I take the spoolie end, see what a difference just filling them in a little bit does. Okay, so then I already have my foundation on, and I have on the Bare Minerals. This is a bit pricier. I think it's $27. If you go to an outlet, you can sometimes get the little sizes like this for $18 or less, but I don't know, I'm just kind of trying to use up this one, and it's nice coverage, but it's really light on your skin, so I just decided to use that today. And then I have some Physicians Formula concealer under my eyes, and I use the Body Shop, oh, I have it right here, this Body Shop under eye concealing brightening pen, and that is what I have on my face so far. So now for the eyes, I'm just going to show you what I do on a everyday basis, kind of like my go-to neutral eye, super simple. First, I like to prime my eyes a little bit with the NYX HD shadow base. I don't use like a whole lot, just a little bit. And this works really well, I find, but I don't have oily eyelids, so I don't have a huge problem with the shadows creasing. Okay, and then I use mostly Wet n Wild products if I'm going for like a quick neutral eye. So to start off, I use this Wet n Wild single eyeshadow in Brulee. This is just a matte cream color. So I take a big fluffy brush, and I just put that under the brow bone generously. I'm just trying to kind of remove any red or kind of bluish tones that I have under my eyes, since I have a cool skin tone. I mean cool skin tone, not like cool skin tone. I can tend to get a little blue or red sometimes under my eyes. Okay, and then what I do, oops, I can find it. Then I use this other. I use like a single eyeshadow look. I use Nutty. This is another single eyeshadow by Wet n Wild. And I just take a little bit more of that Brulee with a flat brush here and put that all over the eyelid. Then I take that same, I use the other side of that same brush, and I go into Nutty, and I kind of go on the outer 2/3, so kind of here. And lightly do that on the eyelid and work it up into the crease. I have another mirror over here, I'm just going to consult. So I'm just doing it on my eyelid right now, but we're going to put this also in the crease. I don't know if you watch Emily Noel 83, she has some great one shadow eye looks, and so I kind of was inspired by her to use this shadow just as a one shadow eye look for every day. You know, you just want a little bit of color, but nothing too dramatic. going to take a blending brush. This is a smaller one than my other one, and I'm just going to go right into that nutty color again, but this time I'm going to work it into my crease. So I'm just going to start on the outer edge and work in. And what I really like, this is actually an LA Colors eyeshadow brush that I found, I want to say like a Dollar General or something randomly one time. I hardly ever go in there, but this is really soft, and so I find it's best to use a really soft brush because you can move so easily into the crease. You're not pulling on your skin a lot. So yeah, I just work. Let's see if you can see up close. So you can see I'm just working a little bit of that into my crease and keeping it, you know, out on the outer edge. And I kind of stop maybe here so that it is mostly concentrated on the out to make my eyes look a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to do the same on the other side and blend it even more. But yeah, so then I'm going to do my eyeliner, and I'm going to use the Wet n Wild, this is Mega Liner, and this is in the color dark brown. This has a really nice brush applicator. You can see it's like a really thin tip brush applicator, and I find that really gives you a lot of control in getting a thin line. You know, it's more natural that way. Alright, so for the eyeliner, you just want to take your time. Don't rush yourself. That's what I've found is best. I just do like a little, if you feel yourself losing control, stop and then, you know, start again, because I usually like to do a thin line for work, for everyday natural looks, and sometimes when I try to do it all at once, I get a thicker line. So yeah, just take my time. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this and not go out of the frame. I'm going to move you guys this way a little bit. Okay. So this is the tricky part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close my eye, and I try my best not to pull on my eyelid because I know it's really bad, but sometimes it's like, oh, unavoidable. But, so I have some on my brush. I'm going to make sure I have enough here on the brush. I'm just going to close my eye. Okay, and so I just did a little flick, and what I did was as I got down closer, I don't know if you can really see, it's just like a tiny flick, but as I got closer to the edge, I just swooped it a little bit with a really smooth motion. Then we need to fill in. So yeah, I just did a really tiny flick. Okay, so there I have both of my eyes done. This side can see my little flick, and this side can see my little flick. I think on this side I need to adjust it just a little bit. No, I think actually it's good. And yeah, then I take a Q-tip, and if you have any areas where you've just bumped or anything, then just try not to, don't get the Q-tip wet. Just try to dab it off lightly, like I have a tiny, tiny dot right here. So I'm just gonna gently, with this Mega Liner Wet n Wild, you need to let it dry or else you're going to smudge it. So I'm going to let that dry, and while that dries, I'm going to put on some blush. I'm using a Wet n Wild blush in Pearlescent Pink. That's what it looks like. Now I'm putting on a little bit more so it shows up well on camera, but with this pearlescent pink shade, you really don't need a lot. It is pretty vibrant. I think this is supposed to be a dupe for the Estee Lauder Jelly blushes. I think they're called Jelly blushes, but I think it's supposed to be a dupe for that. Okay. Then if you feel you have, too much blush on, or you want to remove or just blend some more out, then I just take a big fluffy brush. I'm not using any bronzer today because my Bare Minerals is actually in fairly medium, and I have more of a light skin tone, but since it's been summer, I can kind of pull off the fairly medium shade a little bit more, but I just don't add any bronzer. So you can add bronzer. I am going to add a little bit of highlight. I'm going to try this e.l.f. This is the Shimmering Facial Whip. I'm not sure what color this is. Oh, here we go. Lilac Petal. I'm just going to use just a dab. I'm just going to dot that here. And blend, blend, blend. You can see it just gives a nice sheen right on the top of your cheekbones. Blend, blend, blend. I'm going to take just a little on this side too. Okay. Now I think that my eyeliner is fully dry, so I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes. And today for mascara, I think I'm going to use my new Essence mascara. This is the Get Big Lashes that I got in my UK-US drugstore beauty swap. I did a few videos back. You should go check that out. But yeah, I've been really enjoying this. So I'm going to use this one today. It's a big fat brush. Then what I like to do is just use the brush. I don't get much mascara, but I just like to use the brush from any plastic wand applicator. This just happens to be the Benefit They're Real, but any plastic wand. I feel like if I have a bristle brush mascara wand, I like to go over it with a plastic one just because it helps separate my lashes. The bristle one gives a lot of volume, and then the plastic one separates. You can also take a Q-tip and dab underneath the eyes if you have any of your concealer or your foundation kind of in those little lines. I mean, some of you may not even need to do that, but yeah, this is basically my finished look. I'm gonna take a little, again, a Wet n Wild. This is their Balm Stain. I'm gonna use the Juan Enrico Mauve. I'm just gonna go lightly over my lips. This is a really natural color too. It's kind of like just your lips, but better. Yeah, and that's it. That's kind of basically what I do on a day-to-day basis. I just, give my face a little bit of definition and blush and a little bit of color in the crease. And yeah, I'm all ready for work or going out to run errands or do whatever, film videos. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and it's my first one, so hopefully I will get better with time. So I'm sorry if it's not what you expected, but thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to see any other types of tutorials, this one was basically all Wet n Wild. If you'd like to see another brand or higher end or more drugstore, please let me know in the comments below. I am open for suggestions and things you'd like to see, but I'll leave other places for you to find me, like my blog and Twitter and Instagram, down below. And I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!